Welcome to Mind Anchor, Episode 3. Today we are going to talk about something called the cortisol curve. And specifically, why Indian students experience peak stress at exactly the wrong time. There is a hormonal window every single morning that determines how well you perform in your exams. And almost no student in India knows it even exists. This is a 12-minute episode. Stay with me. Picture this. You have been studying for 6 hours. You feel completely exhausted. But when you finally lie down, your brain simply will not stop. Thoughts keep racing. Formulas keep spinning. You are not anxious. You are not weak. What is happening is that your cortisol curve is working exactly as it was designed to work, just at entirely the wrong time. Here is what the science tells us. There is a hormonal window every single morning. It determines how much of what you studied you will actually remember when you sit in that exam hall. Almost no coaching class in India teaches this. And yet, the research has been clear for over 2 decades. Let me give you some numbers. Research shows a 40% reduction in declarative memory retrieval when morning cortisol levels are elevated. That means nearly half of what you studied could become inaccessible during your exam simply because of your stress hormones. And this is not new science. Over 20 years of peer-reviewed research on cortisol and academic performance exists. And it has been largely ignored. Now, listen carefully. If you have reached a point where opening your textbook feels physically impossible, you are not lazy. You are experiencing something with a precise biological name and a documented physiological cause. Here is the part that makes this truly unfair. Every hour you force yourself to study while in this elevated cortisol state is not just ineffective. It is actively reducing the quality of everything you studied the day before. The effort is real. No one can deny how hard you are working. But the output is not matching. And that is not your fault. So let me explain what cortisol actually does to your studying brain. There are 3 things you need to understand. Number 1, the morning cortisol spike. Cortisol naturally peaks 20 to 30 minutes after you wake up. This is normal and healthy. But under chronic exam stress, this spike is 60 to 80% higher than baseline. Number 2, hippocampal suppression. Elevated cortisol directly suppresses your hippocampus, the brain region responsible for encoding and retrieving factual memories. This is not metaphorical. It is electrochemical. And number 3, the cruel irony. The harder you study under stress, the more cortisol you produce. And the more cortisol you produce, the less memory consolidation happens. More effort leads to less output. The curve literally turns against you. Now let us talk about what your coaching class tells you to do when you are in this state. They say, study harder, push through the fatigue. Sleep less, use the night hours. Do more mock tests to build pressure tolerance. And drink more coffee to maintain alertness. The research shows this is exactly wrong. Every single item on that list raises your cortisol further. The advice that feels like discipline is, neurologically speaking, the accelerant that makes things worse. Stay with me because this changes everything. This is not a personal failing. The Indian competitive exam system was designed around a model of academic performance that predates modern neuroscience by several decades. It assumes that effort and outcome have a linear relationship. The research, accumulated over 30 years, shows clearly that they do not. Above a certain stress threshold, more effort actually produces less output. This is not philosophy. This is physics applied to biology. So what actually works? The answer is something called physiological sighing. It was documented by Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman and confirmed in the 2023 Journal of Affective Disorders. Here is how it works. It takes just 90 seconds. Step 1. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Step 2. At the top, take a short additional inhale, just 1 count. Step 3. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 counts. That is 1 cycle. Repeat it 3 times. Total time, 90 seconds. And it measurably reduces your cortisol within just 4 minutes. And here is what is truly remarkable. The ancient Indian text Charka Samhita describes something called pranayam shodhana, purificatory breath regulation, specifically in the context of manas vikara, which means disorders of the mind under pressure. Two frameworks. 2000 years apart. The same biology. Charka was not working from mysticism. He was observing the same physiological system that modern research has now mapped with electrodes and cortisol assays. Our ancestors knew this. We just forgot. So let me bring this together for you. What you came in believing was a willpower problem is actually a cortisol regulation problem. The mechanism: chronic stress raises your morning cortisol. High cortisol suppresses hippocampal memory. More effort under stress leads to less output. The mistake: conventional coaching advice, push harder, sleep less, accelerates the problem. And the tool: physiological sighing. 90 seconds before studying. 3 cycles. Measurable effect in just 4 minutes. Try it tomorrow morning. Before you open a single book. In the next episode, we will talk about the 90-minute ultradian rhythm. Your brain has a built-in 90-minute productivity cycle. And every Indian study schedule ignores it. I will show you how to align with it and increase your effective study hours without adding a single extra minute. This has been Mind Anchor. Mental wellness. Evidence-based. If this was worth your time, subscribe. I will see you in the next one.